All right. All right. Q&A time, baby. Thank you for 1,000. This is crazy. Actually, I didn't really have any expectations when I started this, but 1,000 is pretty cool. I'm very happy about it. So thank you for that. If you are not subscribed, go ahead and pile on. Why not? Let's get to 10,000, 100,000. I want one of those plaques, one of those silver plaques YouTube gives out. If I do get one, I will hit it with a stinger. I will hit a stinger right at that plaque, and I'll put a big old dent in it. I want you to hold me to it if we get to 100,000. And if you want to see that, hit the subscribe button and join the group of people that are subscribed to me. So 4,000, I said last week that I was going to do a Q&A. So I opened up a few question boxes on my Instagram. I've got all the questions pulled up here. I also opened up the comments in my YouTube. First question is Matt Kreider asks, what is the biggest difference between you and the PGA Tour, and why is that a difference? Well, Matt, the PGA Tour, they're just a little bit better at everything. So the difference between me, like I average right around 72 usually. A tour player averages 70. Those 2 shots every single round add up. That's 8 shots a week. So mostly they're just a little bit better at everything. What is your favorite type of shot that some people think is a really hard shot? Austin Cross. I'm going to take this as, what shot do people think is really hard that is actually not really hard? Stingers. I mean, they're very satisfying to watch, don't get me wrong, but they are not hard to hit. Really, all it comes down to is putting really low loft on the ball and just sitting it out low. My favorite type of shot that some people think is really hard. Stinger, for sure, yeah. Alex Olson asked, why did you choose KWU, and what are your plans after you graduate? I am graduated. I graduated last year. My plans are to play golf, like I'm doing right now. I'm realizing now as I'm editing this video that I didn't answer one of the questions fully. I went to KWU initially because I just needed a place to play. I lost my spot at the school I was going to play at 2 weeks before school started, and Randy reached out and I took him up on his offer. It was kind of on a wing and a prayer, but looking back on it, I wouldn't have changed a single thing. I met a lot of great people. I got to work with Randy for a full year. Really set me up great for the future. And if you're thinking about going to KWU, I would definitely do it. They just put in a really great indoor facility. Also, the coaching is good, and you get to work with Randy Searing, and you really can't put a price on that. So if you want to get better at golf, go to Kansas Wesleyan University. Carson Diaz asked, this is a good question, what is the highest tournament round you have ever shot? I've shot 89 3 times. One time, I was leading the Junior PGA Championship in Kansas City, the qualifier for the Junior PGA for the U.S., and I shot 75 on the first day, super hard conditions. I was leading by 2. And then the second day, I backed into my friend's car on the way to the course, and I was so shook. I shot 89 the second day. It was really bad. And then I shot 89 in really tough conditions in high school. And then I actually shot 89 like a month ago at Q School. That was really cool. That was without a doubt the worst round I've ever played. The conditions weren't even hard. I just had a 2-way miss, and I couldn't putt to save my life. So 89, 3 times. Next question. Tyler Rover. What cameras do you use, drone included, and what do you edit on? I edit on this. This is a MacBook Pro, 13-inch. So it's good for Premiere. It's not incredible. There's still some left to be desired, but it's pretty good. And it was about the cheapest laptop I could get that I thought would handle Premiere. And so far, it's worked pretty well. And I just realized that I didn't answer Tyler's question fully. My main camera that I use while I'm playing golf is a GoPro Hero 5. My drone is a Mavic Pro. And all other stuff I shoot on my phone. I have a gimbal that I use for some B-roll shots, but other than that, everything's just on my phone. I've been meaning to get a camera. That'll probably be my next purchase. If you want to see me get a camera, I'm going to need to make some money. So you need to
subscribe, like, and share this video to help me out with that. If not, you can just do whatever you want. I guess go back to watching the video.
How do I choose which tournaments to play in? Well, now that I'm a pro, it's different. There's not an exact equation to it, but it's usually how far is it mixed in with what's first place, how many places are paid, and how much does it cost to get in. Right now, the only tournaments that are available for professionals is the Outlaw Tour. Funnily enough, the Outlaw Tour is the only tour playing right now. It's like $900 to get into one of the tournaments, and the most you can win is $4,400. And it's 18 hours away from me. Isaac Sander asks, what does your pre-round routine look like on the range and putting green? I might do a video on this. So I usually start on the putting green. Well, actually, it starts at the house. I stretch every day. You guys saw that in my last video. I stretch, and then I go to the course, and I putt. I'll do some kind of gate drill, some kind of speed drill, and then make putts. And then I'll go to the range, and I'll hit balls for a little bit, and then I'll go chip and putt. This is all thrown into a blender when we play tournaments with a shotgun start. If it's a shotgun start, you literally just have to hit balls whenever you can. It is not feasible to try and actually stick to a plan when there's a shotgun start. What do I do to get ready for a tournament? TS Golf wants to know. It seems like a very vague question. I guess I could go through the first couple days leading up to a tournament. And usually like 4 days out from a tournament, it's a good sign if I go out 4 days before a tournament and I just play like garbage. Because then I usually figure it out and I'm peaking right when that first round hits. When I won 3 tournaments in a row, that's exactly what was happening. If we had a tournament on Monday, I'd go out on Friday and just shoot like a million and not be able to find the club face. Couldn't make a putt, couldn't do anything. And then I'd grind it all out on Saturday and Sunday. And then on Monday, I'd go out all cylinders firing and play really well. So what do I do to get ready for a tournament? Short answer would be I suck really bad and then figure it out just in time for the tournament to start. Official Russ Savage asks, do you have any good indoor putting drills? Yeah. Indoor is interesting. I really just try to focus on speed. So I'll put some tees on the ground, try to hit it into a little box, or I'll putt up my putting stick that I have. Nothing too crazy. Jack Fitzgibbon is asking how to be a more consistent ball striker. I've learned through my years of playing golf that there's a direct correlation between how shallow you are into the ball and how consistent of a ball striker you are. So if you're coming way over the top and digging into the ground super hard, you're not going to be good. But the shallower you come in, the more consistently you're going to be able to hit shots well, which is why Ben Hogan always said the best players come from the inside as opposed to over the top. Will Brock wants to know, what is my favorite hole at Shawnee? Good question. Shawnee is my home course for those of you that don't know that. Right now, I'd say my favorite hole is 3. I really like 3, mostly just because of the approach shot. It's like kind of an elevated fairway into a green that kind of slopes towards you. It's really aesthetically pleasing. I think right now, my favorite hole is probably 3. I like 3 a lot. R_Blankenship_ wants to know, when did you start to get recognized by college coaches? Last summer. The summer after I graduated, I played the Kansas Am. I was following one of my buddies around, and he was being followed by the coach, and he actually asked me if I had a place to play next year. So that was kind of awkward. I had to tell him that I was 22 years old and graduated from college, but yeah, I got recruited by just a little late. Drew P21 is asking, are you going to try and qualify for Q School again or try to go through the mini tours? Q School, man, there's nothing really happening right now. As far as Q School goes, I don't know if they're going to even hold Q School this year because all the players that are on Korn Ferry and PGA, they're not going to lose their cards to a pandemic. They're going to have a wraparound season or something. They're going to be able to get a full season in, which means that I don't think there's going to be Q School this year. So I guess the mini tours would be my answer. I'm going to go try and play the mini tours, which is going to be interesting to see when those kick back up. I guarantee you they're going to start a lot sooner than the PGA or the Korn Ferry because there's little to no crowds. O. Burke wants to know, are you going to play tournament and do the tour series? Yes. Jacob, okay, Jacob. I remember you, Jacob. Went to high school with you. Do you have a legit caddy? And if not, where do I apply? Question mark. LOL, seriously though. I would love for you to be my caddy. Are you okay with being paid nothing? When it comes time for me to get a caddy, I'll make sure to hit you up, Jacob. I'm just going to be getting local caddies, I think, because it's not financially feasible to have a full-time caddy when you're making a year before expenses. William James wants to know, I believe that's William James. There's an X thrown in the middle there. It's really throwing me off. Willizam, Xander Shoffley kind of. Willizam James. Handicap at age 14 to 15. My handicap, I believe my index, I was right around scratch. But that was because I was playing the same course every single day and I just got used to it. For tournaments, it was probably like a 6. I was not very good. I never played well in tournaments when I was that age. Top 3 pieces of advice to someone wanting to give mini tours a shot. Rub-a-dub-dub wants to know. Get a lot of money together, because the last thing you want to do is be playing a tournament thinking about how you're going to pay your next entry fee. I've learned that the hard way. Get really good inside of 60 yards, and also prepare to play really good golf and not make any money. You can play really good golf on a mini tour and not make a check. You just got to be able to mentally be able to go out there and expect to play phenomenal golf every single time. My number one and biggest piece of advice would be to get a ton of money together, because if you don't, it's just not going to work out. Jen Hildebrandt said, I love your page. Thank you, Jen Hildebrandt. I appreciate that. Hazard93 says, would you consider Alps Tour qualifying and play in Europe? Absolutely. Yeah, that is something I would be really interested in. That'd be super cool to go play in Europe, especially when, from what I've heard, the only qualifying school would be in Europe right now. So I might not have an option. Thick Mike, these are the questions that people need to know the answer to. Thick Mike asks, why is Zelda such a great video game? We don't have time. We literally don't have time. Music is phenomenal. The storylines is just like, I've played Wind Waker 10 times. The gameplay's good, don't get me wrong. The story of the Wind Waker is just absolutely incredible. You never see it coming. Tetra is actually Zelda. Never see it coming. Amazing. Yeah, I don't even know how to like actually answer that question fully. I'm gonna need a full other video. I might start another channel just to answer that question. Elias Malikoff asks, major in college, marketing. Hey, if you want to hear some great music, follow my page, Milligram. We're into the metric system, are we? Milligram 614. Nicholas Mason asks, best golfer ever to come out of Mill Valley. Well, Nick, it's not you. You haven't come out of Mill Valley yet. And I'm going to beat your ass on Tuesday. Clark Kipple asks, what's your best round? I like that you asked best, not lowest, because those are two different things. I shot 66. It was probably 50 degrees, blowing about 35 miles an hour. My lowest round ever is 61 at that same course, but it wasn't near as good as the 66 was. I'd say probably the 66 was my best played round. Good question. Ali Sweet Official asks, are you bored today? Me too. I'm not bored today. I had a great day. How often do you work out? And what was your handicap as a 15-year-old? Asks Matt Chuck 11. When I was 15, I said this before. I think I actually answered this in a question already. How often do I work out? I try to work out 5 days a week. Having a really hard time staying disciplined when I don't have a gym to go to. But yeah, I do push-ups just about every day. I do sit-ups every day. I try to run every day just to keep my wind up. But 5 times a week probably. Do I get paid to play Titleist clubs? Asks Ramsey Gordon. No, I do not. That is one of the biggest misconceptions, I think. Yeah, I might actually do a whole other video on that. That's a deep world to get into, but really I think the short answer would be the only people on tour that are guaranteed free clubs from Titleist are the PGA Tour players. You get there, you can afford your own clubs anyway. JLS1 asks, what laptop are you currently editing with? MacBook Pro. My beer hole says, check us out. No, I will not. Mackenzie Day asks, can you daydream at night? Yes, because daydreaming, I guess it depends on how you define it, but I define daydreaming as being still awake but dreaming. So you can do that at night, absolutely. Can you get distracted at night? Yeah, for sure. Biggest difference between you and, I'm assuming he's saying you, and collegiate golf, asks Fudgy83. I mean, just like I said earlier, the difference between me and like the PGA Tour is that everybody there is just a little bit better at everything. I think I'm just a little bit better at everything than most college players. Official Russ Savage with the second question of this video. Did you do anything specific to stay calm when you were sleeping on the lead in college? I actually did a full video on this, on one experience that I had sleeping on the lead in a 4-day tournament where I led every single day for 4 days straight. I remember we left after I ended up losing by a shot, and we left the parking lot, and I was in the van. And I literally sat down in the van, and before we even got out of the parking lot, I passed out, like sitting up straight in the middle of the day, passed out because I was so exhausted. I didn't sleep for 4 days straight. So the second it was over, I just fell asleep. I won 3 tournaments in a row to finish my senior year. When I was sleeping on the lead then, I just never really got nervous. Sleeping on the lead for 1 day is not hard. When you're playing a 4-day event and you lead wire to wire, that's incredibly difficult. And that's why Tiger is the GOAT, because you could do that every single week with no problems. What is your favorite part of golf to practice? Asks Max Malikoff. I really like practicing my putting, but right now, it might just be because I can't do it right now, but I miss being able to just hit balls in the range. Harry Ritchie says, I want to play college golf and then play on tour. How do I get recognized by colleges from AU? This is a trap. I'm going to sound so stupid right now. What is AU? What is AU? Astronomical unit. How do I get recognized from an astronaut? Oh, from the sun? That's really hard, man. If you're on the sun, I can't imagine golf is like your main concern. I'd say if you're on the sun, you should probably worry about getting down to Earth first. So about 150 million kilometers. That's a long way away. I'd say golf is the least of your worries, man. Where is AU? Okay. AU is Australia. I actually had a lot of teammates from Australia. As far as I know, I'm sure there's tons of recruiting agencies. Let me look this up right now, actually. Yeah, just go to alicerecruit.com. Also, the internet's incredible. Just email all the coaches you want to play with your swing, your scoring average, what your talents are. Make a golf resume. I think I posted that. If you go to my How to Get into College Golf video, I talked about that a lot. But yeah, nowadays especially, you can get in touch with a coach from anywhere on the planet. So just email any coach you want to play for. I don't know what kind of school you want to play for necessarily, but yeah, email is really helpful. Rub-a-dub-dub asks again, I believe this is his second question. Favorite golf course in Kansas, public and private? I love Shadow Glen. That'd be my favorite private course, Shadow Glen. Public. Oh, man. My favorite public course. Oh, Sand Creek. Yeah, best by far. Best public course in Kansas is Sand Creek. It's phenomenal. It is such a good golf course. And if you don't like Sand Creek, then you suck. Which P Nort 2019 asks, which current past KW golfer besides yourself do you consider your spirit animal? I think this guy wants me to say Skittles. Oh man, this is hard. This is a really hard question. I would say I relate the most to Skittles. Ben Jones 06021 asks, what were your thoughts about college golf as a freshman and sophomore? Golf sucks and I hate it and I want to quit, I think. Would probably sum it up the best. I was coming in really steep to the ball, so I'd shank it a lot, and also I had an attitude problem, and when you put those two things together, it's not very fun. I did enjoy my freshman and sophomore year quite a bit, just the golf was really stressful and difficult. Oberg asks, I believe this is his second question, are you playing in tournaments still? No, but today I did play a match against Rosie and Joe Klausner, and I won, so... Does that count? I don't know. Trevor Oberg asks, who influenced your career the most? Tiger, I think, would be the easiest answer. When I was growing up, he was just unstoppable. For me, I never really knew a time when Tiger didn't kill everybody until he didn't, and then Rory stepped in. So I'd say Tiger and Rory were probably the two biggest influences. I actually have a dog named Rory, so that might have something to do with it. As far as this whole video thing goes, I really like Luke Kwan golf. As far as pros that make videos go, Luke Kwan is killing it right now. He hasn't posted a video in a while, and I don't blame him. Liam Doherty X7 says, hey Ben, you gave me some advice and it worked. When are you coming to Ireland and play? I'm glad the advice worked. I would like to know which piece of advice it was, actually. Also, when am I going to Ireland? Yeah, that sounds like a hike. I'll tell you what, if I'm ever in Ireland for a tournament, I will be sure to throw you a DM. Patty Mills, what's up, Pat? Pat wants to know, how do I practice putting a draw or a slice on my iron approach shots? There's a few ways to do this. I think the easiest way would be open up your face, open up your stance, and start the ball out to the left, and don't change your swing. Just have the same swing and with an open face, and the ball will slice. If you'd like a draw, shut the face down just a little bit and swing normal, and it should draw. You're just going to have to start out to the right if you want to hit a draw, or to the left if you want to hit a slice. That'd be the easiest answer, I think. And Gucci Visual says, what up? That is all the questions. Thank you guys for submitting questions if you did. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to subscribe, comment, like, you know the deal. Throw any video ideas you have down in the comments, and I will see you guys next time. Deuces.